877-3DP Show. We bring in Mike Francesa, host of the Mike Francesa podcast on the Bet Rivers Network on YouTube, former longtime co-host of Mike and the Mad Dog on WFAN in New York. Mike, thanks for joining us. Did the New York Jets have a good day yesterday?
No. Dan, good to talk to you. They didn't. I said, and I've been hard on Salah for a while, for a couple of years. He was a terrible head coach. Good defensive coordinator, one of those guys who's got a job for a long time. He could be the next Spagnuolo. He's a defensive coordinator. He's a good one. Their defense is well prepared. He had not a clue how to be a head coach. He didn't understand what it meant, and he didn't do anything that you need to do to be a head coach. But Hackett had to go. Their offense it's non-existent. And to have a quarterback like they have, and he has no easy throws. He has no open receivers. They have no concepts. They can't run it. They can't throw it down the field. And this is with a great player and with other top talent, left tackle, running back, wide receiver. And they don't have concepts. They have no idea what they're doing. And they look abysmal doing it. And they are also so ill-prepared. And nobody was held accountable. So the head coach had to go, but Hackett had to be out the door with him. And I don't know what role Rodgers played in this. He and Salah obviously weren't getting along. And that was easy to see. But Hackett cannot be protected here. He is not any good at his job. As a matter of fact, he's awful. He had to go too. And I would have left the defensive coordinator where he was because I don't want to damage the defense, which is good, which is a little banged up and can get better if they get Reddick in somehow and get Mosley healthy. Their defense has been good. It's not as good as it was last year at its zenith, but it's good. And the offense has just been deplorable, and you can see how frustrated Rodgers is with the whole thing. And he's going to get hurt, too, because he's going on 41 and he's brittle, and he's getting the heck knocked out of him. And they're blitzing him, and it's being very effective against a guy you could never blitz in the past. So there's so much there, but keeping Hackett and elevating the defensive coordinator, who might be a good head coach. I don't know. We'll see. But the point is, he now has to learn a new role, and he's going to impact the defense because now Salah's not there, who was good with the defense, and he's not in the same job. I would have brought in a new offensive coordinator, and I would have gotten somebody who would have taken that job. I don't know if it would have been Vrabel or Pete Carroll or who it might have been. I would have made those phone calls first and try to get somebody in here who would look at this as a great opportunity, which I think it could be, if they had made the right moves. But Hackett being in the building, it means it's still a disaster in my mind.
But, Mike, I don't know if it's an attractive job because of Aaron Rodgers, because he does have autonomy there. And how long is he going? Like, if you said, hey, would you want the job, you're Vrabel or Belichick, I'd be like, I'm going to wait until Aaron Rodgers is gone because I don't want to wait year to year and see what Aaron wants to do. And is he going to be there and all in and how healthy? And is he going on vacations? And so it doesn't seem like an attractive job, at least, over the next couple of years.
Very fair point. First of all, Belichick will go nowhere near the Jets. He hates them, okay? So that we all know that. That will never happen. He might be in Dallas. He might be in Philly. He might be in Jacksonville. He'll never be in New York he could be with the Giants. He'll never be with the Jets. But I understand the point, and it's a good one. First of all, making a change in season is almost impossible. It's not your staff. You haven't had time to work with everybody. You haven't had time to prepare a philosophy. None of that makes sense, changing a coach midstream. I would have brought a Frank Reich in to run the offense, and then I would have tried to bring somebody in to run the team, but I would have sat Aaron Rodgers down. And listen, I know there's a lot of excuses coming out, and I think Salah's probably a part of that genesis of this stuff. He was going to take the job away from Hackett and give it to Downing. I don't know if that's true. He got fired because he wore a Lebanese decal on his sweatshirt. I doubt that very much, okay? If Woody didn't want him to wear that, he wouldn't have worn it. I don't believe any of that stuff. He got fired because he was a bad head coach, and the team was falling apart. But they didn't do what they needed to do. They needed to get rid of him, and they needed to get rid of the offensive coordinator who is inept. And they didn't do that, and that's on Rodgers. And I would have sat Rodgers down there, and I would have said this, listen, You like looking like you looked the last 2 weeks? You look like a bum. You want to have that as your way of going out of the NFL? You want to get pounded until you can't walk? You want to throw 3 interceptions and a pick six? This is not who you are. Why do you want to be part of this? Let me bring somebody in and fix this with you. We'll sit down, we'll come up with a name, and we will fix this. But Hackett has to go. And that should have been what the owner said. The owner should have taken control. Saleh never had control of Rodgers. Rodgers has been in control of the franchise since he got here, but he's not doing it right either. If he did, Hackett would have gone out the door also.
Why don't we scrutinize Woody Johnson the way we do Jerry Jones?
Because Woody is not. Because I'll give you exactly why. Because we don't take Woody seriously. We take Jerry seriously, and we know he screws up a lot of stuff, okay? And we take him seriously because he meddles. Woody doesn't want to meddle. He doesn't want to. He wants to be an owner, and he wants to have cocktails with his buddies, and then he wants to run a Trump fundraiser and then go off and be an ambassador again. Remember, Woody didn't hire Saleh. That was a big part of this, too. He didn't hire him. His brother did. That was a big part of this, and that's why he didn't feel any allegiance to him. I was surprised Woody made this move. I called for this last week, and I'm not saying he did it because of me, because he didn't. I doubt Woody listens to me. Woody and I don't get along. But the point is, I didn't think Woody had this in him to do this. But, of course, Woody screwed it up like he screws up everything football-wise because he didn't do it the right way. He did it halfway. And he did it the wrong way because I think this way – I don't think it can work.
Talking to Mike Francesa, if you're looking at which franchise is in better shape, the Jets or the Giants, who would you say?
Neither.
You got to pick one. Which team?
If I had to pick one right now, I'd pick the Jets because they have more talent. I'd pick the Jets because they have Aaron Rodgers. And if I can get Aaron Rodgers out of the way and just let him be the quarterback, this can work. They have talent. They have a Hall of Fame left tackle. They have offensive linemen who can play. The problem is they haven't been properly coached. They haven't been together long enough to understand the concept of how to block together. They are all new. That it wasn't going to work unless you had strong coaching. This is not a good coaching staff, and it's not a good offensive room, and Hackett is inept. He shouldn't be there, okay? He's only there because he's buddies with the star quarterback. That's not a reason to be there, and everybody in the league knows it. And here's what's the joke's on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers looked at the head coach with complete contempt and disdain and is glad he's gone. But now the world is looking at Aaron Rodgers that way because he protected his buddy, and that's not going to work.
If you gave the Jets a mulligan, would they bring in Aaron Rodgers again?
No. I don't think they would. It's been too much trouble. I really don't think they would. I think they tried something. I could understand how it could work. Listen, Woody had a chance to make this right. Last summer, a lot of people, including me, screamed, get rid of the coach and clear out the staff and get rid of Hackett, and you can win and fix the offensive line. They fixed the offensive line, and then the GM screwed up the Reddick thing and got rid of the wrong people on defense. So he weakened the defense, but the defense is still playing really well. The problem is, hey, Breece Hall looked like a superstar last year. He doesn't even know which end is up right now, and he is so upset it's ridiculous. He's getting hit in the backfield every other play. The offensive line cannot run block. They have no concepts. Aaron Rodgers isn't missing open receivers. They have no open receivers. All they can run is quick passing. If they don't get rid of the ball in 2.5, he's on his back. They have no running game. They have no concepts. They're running the wrong way from a Hall of Fame quarterback. It is a joke what's going on right now, and it's not going to get fixed if Hackett's in the room.
I love to hear your passion.
It's just sickening to watch. But I never thought – I was surprised Woody fired Saleh. I came out yesterday. I was playing golf. I got off the golf course. My wife said to me, they fired Saleh. I said, get out of here. I said, they actually clean houses? She goes, no, they only got rid of Sal. I said, of course.
Great to talk to you as always, Mike.
Be well, Dan.
All right, buddy. Mike Francesa, host of the Mike Francesa podcast on Bet Rivers Network on YouTube. Longtime host, Mike and the Mad Dog. That's what you hear in New York. That's what you used to hear with Mike and Chris. They were the voice of the fan.